Hey everyone, this is Corey Brewer with Windermere Lori Gill Leasing and Property Management. I've been asked recently quite a few times for a copy of my rental market update presentation, which is something that I typically deliver to one group at a time. As you may know, here in our world of property management, we deal with legal changes on a fairly regular basis. So there's not a whole lot that I can future-proof by recording my full presentation at any given time, kind of constantly updating it. Therefore, I've decided to create a much more brief monthly video, and hopefully you find it to be valuable in these next couple minutes, and you can play it during your sales meeting and share this information with your team. This was an idea shared with me by a real estate coach named Michael Fanning, who some of you might be familiar with, so I want to give him a shout out and thank you, Michael. So with that, I'm recording this on February 23rd. The latest news, as you might be aware, is the city of Seattle has voted to let their eviction moratorium expire at the end of this month. Yesterday, the City Council voted down a proposal to extend it for a ninth time, this time indefinitely. And this is something that I was really glad to see. And I have three main takeaways that I wanted to share with you on the topic, mainly as sales brokers who are going to be watching this video. First, this will allow us to start addressing behavioral issues, first and foremost. Evictions are an absolute last resort in most cases. What we've been trying to establish here as property managers is just to regain leverage to make sure that we're able to enforce that tenants are just simply following the rules. Simple things like removing smoke alarms, for example, seems kind of innocent, but that is a violation of a lease, and it could lead to something terrible, obviously, like a fatal house fire. And something even so simple like that, like informing the tenant that you have to put that back up on the ceiling, was something that we technically could not enforce if a tenant wasn't willing to cooperate. So starting on March 1st, we will again have the ability to serve a notice that the rules must be followed. And if they're not, eventually that could lead to an eviction notice. But that's certainly not the goal. The primary goal is just to address the situation, fix the problem, and maintain the tenancy. Number two, probably most important for sales brokers watching this, this now allows homeowners to notify their tenants about any intended change of use for the property. Some people want to be moving back into their homes, or perhaps more commonly, the owner has the intention to sell the property. This requires a 90-day notice, which can begin on March 1st, but it's important to understand that this cannot preempt the existing term lease expiration date. So for example, if there's a fixed term lease that goes through the end of September, you could give a notice starting in March, but it would not be a 90-day notice. It would be more like a 6-month notice with an effective date at the end of September. You can't cut off a fixed term lease early. That 90 days would be the minimum, and that would also apply to month-to-month leases or month-to-month tenancies. And then finally, number three, a number of financial protections remain in place for tenants who are behind on rent, and that's really important. The city of Seattle has multiple different layers of protections or assistance programs, and now we can move forward with prioritizing that rental assistance. Unfortunately, we did see people out there under the cover of the moratorium simply unmotivated to seek assistance. In many cases would not communicate with us or with their landlord, I should say. Now we can focus our collective energy on that process of obtaining rental assistance funds for people. And frankly, that's long overdue. That should have been the goal for a while now. A lot of people were pushing this blanket eviction moratorium without identifying the people who actually needed the financial help and trying to direct resources their way. So the ball can finally start rolling on that. All right, so I hope you found this helpful. I look forward to connecting with you in this way with these brief videos in the future. Please reach out to me if you're interested in a more comprehensive presentation at your office. These updates are also being shared on a brand new YouTube channel that we just launched. And so please feel free to give that a like or a subscribe, and you can look forward to future videos. My email address, well, I'll give you our website. It's wpmnorthwest.com if you want to reach out to us that way. Look forward to hearing from you, and until next time, cheers.